When you go to Medina, one of the things that really strikes you about being in Medina is prayer is like a full-time job in Medina. Like there's time to eat and then pray. It's really quite stunning. And so the centrality of prayer and really working on our prayer and also learning and education. I mean, the Prophet ﷺ said, لِأَنْ يَغْدُوا أَحَدُكُمْ وَيَتَعْلَمَ آيَةً مِنْ آيَةِ اللَّهِ خَيْرٌ لَهُ مِنْ أَلْفِ رَكَعَةٍ. It's better to learn one ayah than pray 1,000 rakats. His religion, when he came in the gathering, there were people studying and there were people doing dhikr. He sat with the people studying and he said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ مُعَلِّمًا. I was sent to teach. It's not saying that the other thing was wrong, but he was a teacher and he was constantly teaching. And his religion is a religion of reason, intelligence. Emotions are supposed to be controlled. And you can see how emotional our community is. We're a very emotional community. One thing, just think about this. The Prophet ﷺ never called people names. We have all these Muslims that just call heads of state names. You cannot like a head of state, that's fine. But there's also the Prophet ﷺ, he had decorum. He was never, and so when the scholars do this, I mean, you can expect that from uneducated people, but when scholars do that, it's a very bad sign. There's just a lot of emotion and people not thinking, and there's reasons to be upset. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, there are reasons to be upset. We're all living through a really horrific time. We've seen, I mean, the horrors that I've seen just in my lifetime is just amazing. Over 1 million dead Iraqis in my lifetime. I mean, I saw Vietnam, so I remember Vietnam. And that was 2 million dead. Horrible napalm bombs, all these terrible things they did. I mean, the Viet Cong, when they would bomb them with napalm, which burns the skin, so they worked out that it wasn't waterproof. So if they went into water, it would stop the burning right away. So all the villages made big ponds. They dug things and put water so that when the napalm came, because the napalm was like they sprayed it. It came down. It was just, it's gone on. So some scientists, probably in New Jersey or something, worked out how to have waterproof napalm. Like, why would you do that? Napalm's bad enough, but not even to give people, it's just evil. So these are all evil things. So we've seen a lot of evil, and I don't watch the news because I don't want to let things into my heart like that. Because one, I'm a hypersensitive person. I get very sick physically. But two, I really want to be grateful, and Shaitan just wants to make everybody miserable and depress us. I don't want to get depressed, and so I know what's going on, and the Prophet said, "Ni'ma silahu ad-du'a was-sabr." What an excellent weapon, prayer and patience. Because al-aqibatu lil-muttaqin. This is just dunya. It's just dunya. And if people get too caught up in this place and not recognize it for what it is, they'll get lost. This is dunya. And I know enough of history. 50 million Indians probably starved to death during the British period. 50 million. I mean, talk about a Holocaust. At least 20 million Russians killed under Stalin, at least 20 million. A lot of them Muslims. I mean, if you want to talk about the horrors of the world, I could go on all day about the horrors of the world. But there's also the marvels of the world and the beauties of the world and the amazing things about the world, and the tenacity of people despite everything. I mean, the display of the Palestinians that they've shown is just, it's inspired like a lot of people, even non-Muslims. It's just unbelievable. So I'm very anti-war. I really am very anti-war. But the Muslims, 500 years, we've been doing the same thing and getting the same results. Historically, the Muslims converted their enemies when they couldn't beat them. They say if you can't beat them, join them. The Muslims said if you can't beat them, convert them. That's what they did. The Mongols converted to Islam, the Ilkhanid. They became the defenders of Islam. Within 70 years it happened. And that means that there were people still alive that saw Baghdad completely devastated, that were probably praying next to people who were the children or the grandchildren of the people that conquered them. It's amazing. You know, it was one of the things my dad said when he read the history of Islam. He told me, Islam conquers its conquerors. That's what he said. Islam conquers its conquerors. يَغْرِبُ الَّذِينَ غَلَبُوهُمْ. Why have we lost that ability? You know, the Arabs say, فَاقِدُ شَيْءٍ لَا يُعْطِي كُلُّ وِيعًا بِمَا فِيهِ أَنْضَحُ. Every vessel can only pour forth what it contains. If all you have is emotion and anger and resentment, you know, most people here, if they really knew what was going on, they would be opposed to it. We have to educate people. We have to, most people, and people, a lot of people are waking up to what's happening. But the Muslims, I think we need to really think about ourselves a lot more. We think too much about what's happening out there, and we don't think enough about rectifying our own selves. And the book that's just been translated into English, I would recommend everybody read it. In fact, I'm probably going to read it in the book club that we do. It's called The Generation of Salahuddin. And it really shows, it's an amazing book by this Jordanian scholar, Ersanan al-Jilani, or al-Kilani. He's a historian, and he wrote this amazing book. And he did it for Allah, and I think there's a real tawfiq in the book because he actually didn't want any copyright for it. He said anybody could publish it. Yeah. So he was very sincere in his, it's a really well written too. The English translation, I haven't, I've only looked at it. It looks reasonably good. They got the title wrong. It's kind of ESL English, but the actual book is not bad. But that's a really important book.